Hello, good evening, targeted individual. My name is Grace Udoh-Williams. I'm a targeted individual living here in London. I'm a recipient of a direct energy weapon, voice to call, subliminal, and also neuromonitoring. Today is the 8th of April 2021, and the time is after 10 o'clock in the evening. And it's a very happy Easter to everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. And in today's episode, I'm just going to give you an update of what has been going on. I'm just going to, excuse me, get a notebook. Quite a few of them I need to bring to your notice. The first one that I'm experiencing now, the latest, is now my phone is being bombarded, an upsurge of Muslim apps into my phone in terms of preaching. Each time that I put on my phone, or most times, I'm seeing these lots of Muslim preacher on my phone, which I haven't experienced before. And this only started this year, probably about 3-4 weeks now, or slightly more. So each time I put on my phone, I will see all these Muslim preacher into my phone. And it's also coincide that at this stage, usually my phone will say location is E14, but on this instance it's saying as where I live, my proper location and my postcode. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? And I'm not a Muslim, I've never been, and I won't be. I'm not putting down the Muslim religion, but it's just not my faith. So it seems somebody has been busy trying to associate me with this religion, trying to say, because that's the narrative, the reason why they put me on this list is just to put on this narrative that I'm a radicalized Christian when I'm not. I'm a proper Christian and nothing will change my faith. And that's what I've been experiencing. I've told family members and I've showed them, and they actually said to me, oh, maybe because you went to some app. I know that I do check for recipes on the phone to see if I want to try a new recipe, because there's nothing else to do. So I'm just doing baking and trying new recipe. I do go, but it's not something that I go to look into a Muslim app, people preaching. So each time I open up my phone, and it also gets worse on like a Friday, every other app on my phone is a Muslim preacher. So I don't know where that is coming from. That is my what I've experienced recently. There's also another I need to bring to your notice, that with Amazon, I don't know what's going on with Amazon, but I think somebody is out there in the Amazon area checking on what I'm buying, trying to see, because there was some equipment. I remember year before the last that I bought that the man I called the handler, or my handler, actually, God help me, because they're quite expensive, that I did not leave them at home. They would have disappeared, because the day they delivered them, by the time I'm going out shopping, it was parked in a white car in front of the house, So I believe he was waiting for me to leave, then he comes to pick them up. But thank God that I was able to take them. As soon as I saw him, I just went back and picked them up, because I knew they would have been gone and I would never have seen them. So I noticed that my Amazon account, somebody seemed to have hacked into it. About 2019, somebody actually helped themselves to buying something on my account on Amazon. So I did get my money back, but it is just something that I've seen. So in every 2 weeks or so, the location will change. So the current location it will say deliver to query. What it is showing on my Amazon account is TW15. I don't live in TW15. I believe TW15 probably is in West London. I haven't really checked, but that is not where I live at all. They are miles and miles apart. But that's what I'm seeing in my Amazon account. I don't know if Amazon is involved in this. I have no idea. And the other thing that I also noticed, that in 2019, a bunch of old knives, very old knives, I don't use them, but it's just that I've live with them. I just pack them up when I move somewhere, that they've been there. I just wrap them and put them away from children's and my grandchildren's view for child safety. I noticed that they went missing in 2019. And maybe after a week or so, or more than a week, it wasn't only me. If it's me, I would think maybe I didn't look for it properly, but other people that were living here also looked. We couldn't find any of the knives, including the lady that was living with me, including our own knife, also went missing. So it seems to have started again. So in this case, it's just one knife, the knife, because the old knives, I do not touch them. I need to find a safe way of this, throwing them away, because I don't use them at all. So I use this child safety knife with jagged, the one that you use to cut bread knife. But that too has since gone about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. We can't find the knife at home. So I don't know where the knife, it could just be, it's been misplaced, but I've searched the whole kitchen, I've moved this about, I've searched the whole front room to see if there was anywhere that it could have been misplaced, and we can't find it. So it seems to have gone. And usually things would disappear for a few weeks, then come back, clothes have disappeared, shoes have disappeared. Actually, the shoes were disappeared for a long period of time, then suddenly came back. Then letters have disappeared. Most of the letters have never recovered. Letters have disappeared. Diary have disappeared. The letter diary, I've never recovered them. But what I'm noticing in this knife, it happened 2019. It seems to be happening again. But on this occasion, it's just a kitchen knife that I use. I just have used one kitchen knife, and it's a bread knife that I've been using because of child safety. So that has just gone. So I need to buy new knives now. So I'll let you know what kind of knives I'm ordering. That is one of the, that is happening in recent times. Then the other one I want to have a look is the review of my CCTV. Now, I've been forced to retire, not because I wanted to, but it's because of the way this program works. They stop you working, they stop you having a life, because they have gone in there trying to use mental health to say that because I was complaining of being stalked, and the area I was working was not, I didn't feel it was safe. There was not adequate security because I was working very late. So they tried to say that, use mental health, which we all know is what the German people use, that has been adopted in the West, and that's what they tried to do. So I I was advised by an investigator that came to check when I felt that I was being under surveillance, that we did not find a bug, but we saw where there was interference in the communication system. So I was strongly advised to get a CCTV because of my safety. I live here by myself with a little girl. So I got that, but I noticed that within a week or so, it was not working. But when they install it, they say I can also plug it into the computer. So I noticed that it wasn't working, but I didn't know what exactly happened. So it's only when they came in about 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, for a kind of a service, because they're meant to check it twice a year. They haven't checked it, so I had to tell them to come and check it, because number one, the dates too seems to they have manipulated the dates. The date was showing about 4 or 5 hours ahead of time. So when he came, he rectified that. There were also things that have been captured on the CCTV, but by the time the person, the guy that came in to do the inspection came, most of the things that were captured has been wiped off, and it was meant to be about a month, within a month, but most of the ones that were captured has been wiped off completely. So I couldn't see what I was hoping to see, but we leave it. There was constant pulsation from the light in front of the house, the street light into my home, constant pulsation, and there were times that it's probably coming from the drone, but this one, it was so specific. So I noticed that he told me something has been broken from the CCTV, which is the screen is called what is it called? Concept Pro, the screen of the CCTV where it was meant to plug. So this is what he found, that this the connection to this what it is. This is meant to fix into the compartment of the CCTV, so that then I could just plug into it, then it will start recording. So he found that this has been broken, and he said it will take a lot of energy to be able to break this. So I believe when I'm not at home, they have come in there probably and used something to snap it up. So the Compact Pro was broken and it cannot be fixed. So I have to have a new Compact Pro if they can get it. That's what I was told. So this is what they have broken. This is meant to be when it was made, screwed into the compartment itself, but this was broken. And the only way it can be broken is when its force is being used to it. So I didn't realize at the time. I just knew it wasn't working, and I just plug it into my computer the way I was told, that it can also go on the screen of the computer, and that's what I did. So it's only now that I've realized that exactly what's been done. This is what that was broken. So somebody came in here while I wasn't here, and you know that they have to take a force to be able to break it off from the screen itself. So this is what I found. And I also know that because it's connected to my computer, that makes it very easy for them to hack, because the computer is hacked. So the program itself in the CCTV is hacked. Number one, the timing wasn't. It was, like I said, 4 or 5 hours ahead. So if anything happened, if you want to record it, it seems as if you were not recording appropriately. So that means you're confused with the time. So the time was about 4. No matter how we tried to rectify the time, it never did. So I think it's one of those things that they did in hacking it, trying to distort the information on the CCTV. That is one of the things that that they've done. So the CCTV is hacked, but I think it's got to an extent that they could only do it to an extent. Then what I'm also experiencing in recent time is constant helicopter harassment. It's when it comes regularly. Sometimes it's every hour or every other hour you hear the helicopter, and there comes with attack, and it will come in with a direct energy. So once I hear, I know another episode of direct energy attack is coming. So that's what I've noticed now, because at some point it did quiet down for a while, but then it started again. Lots of helicopter, and there are also drones stationed around about. Have not seen any lately, but when I go out, especially for shopping, then they are always there following me. Then the next thing I am seeing in terms of like I said, most of the data that was captured on the CCTV is being wiped up, even though it can be captured up to a month. So by the time the guy came to services, we only had a couple of days. The whole episode of what was happening has been wiped out. Then I'm also having a lot of microwave attack when I sleep, when I go to bed. I can't sleep on my bed for years since this COVID becomes physical, since the attack became physical because of what I was experiencing in the bedroom. It was the bedroom is upstairs, so I sleep on the front room, and it's not ideal, but I think it was safer than the bedroom. But having said that, I've got limited children, but then they go to town on my body. In terms of my chest, I'm having constant directed energy microwave weapon into my abdomen, into my body. I believe they're trying to create a cancer environment for me. And also I'm experiencing this, I think it started, was it last year, but it's getting more pronounced. I only feel it when I sleep, when I go to bed, that my tummy is gurgling, and it makes some really weird noises and sounds, and sometimes that's what wakes me up. And that once that I hear the sound, then it proceeds with attack. It could be helicopter attack, it could be an attack from helicopter, I'm talking about nights, and it also could be helicopter from directed energy weapon from neighbors. And also, like I said in my previous video, the neighbor to the right of me, I've moved out since about late January, early February. But even then, I could still hear movement in the house. It seems there's some people there, and I believe it's people that used to do the because it seems they were doing shift. That is my own observation. I might not be correct, I might be wrong, but also I've been seeing those cars that were parked then that are still there, and you could hear movements, and sometimes you could actually hear a movement that an equipment is being dragged through the ceiling. So this is not like a voice to call. It is something that other people have heard. If you keep quiet enough, you could hear the movement, like a heavy machinery being dragged through the ceiling. But I'm believing it probably not my ceiling. At one point it sounded as if it's my ceiling. I'm thinking it's probably the next door that they've moved. And there's also a lot of drilling, a lot of nailing, a lot of drilling. I know there are things that they nailed onto the wall, some of the equipments, and I also know some of the equipments were on their hallway. So I believe once the couple perpetrators have moved out. So the real people that have come in are not people that lives. I don't think they live in the locality. I think one of them that I've noticed is a skinhead man. You know, I believe he's in his 50s, or I could be wrong, it could be late 40s, but he's not a young person to say, okay, I believe this is something that has been doing this for a long time. And I believe there's a lot of hatred in him, or all of them, because you must hate somebody so much to be able to do this. There must be a lot of hatred, and these are people that I've never known from Adams. I've never offended them. I've never come across them in my nursing career. I've never had any dealings with them, but they have this hatred in their heart based on what they've been told. And again, they can earn money, and then it gives them a kind of a power over whoever they are torturing. So, and again, like for them, the torture is a kind of an excitement adventure where they see the person they're torturing, you know, in pain, in fear, and that's what gives them the kick, just like what the Nazis did. So they've taken over from what the Nazis did. Mind you, a lot of people died because of this. A lot of the whole world went to war to stop this type of action that is being uptaken by these people. So that is what I've noticed. So it seems that there are quite a few of them now, that because the car numbers, like the one I saw last week, was kind of weird. 2 cars, almost identical number. One started with DS07, the other one started with DS60, and the other one is a different number that I know. And what they do when the number have taken up the number, then they'll go, I mean, they have money at their disposal. God knows how much they're being paid per hour to torture. And I believe I'm not the first they've tortured, neither will I be the last. And I'm sure it's something they've been doing. So they seem to enjoy what they're doing. So that is what I've noticed in what's happening. And they continue to do that. And again, when I get into my kitchen, there seems to be a lot of energy from next door into the kitchen. Very, very high energy. And when I got the investigator, he also noticed a kind of very RF coming in from that end into the house. So I've also measured it in the past and see high frequency from, and where you know where the frequency coming, you won't expect, because my kitchen is back in the stairs. So my kitchen is back in the stairs. So really shouldn't be having energy coming from there, but that's what I noticed. I will start doing a lot of measuring in recent times. What I'm also experiencing recently is what is called dream manipulation. So there's this thing they're trying to make it into my head that I'm a radicalized Christian. It's just because that is the narrative they have falsified. They have put in, maybe I have a file that they have falsely registered, falsely documented, and saying that I'm a radicalized Christian, but I'm not a radicalized Christian. Neither will I be in this life. In the next life, I will not be, because it's not in my blood. It's not in my bloodline. My father was a priest. My mother was spiritual. We all grew up in the church. I grew up singing in the choir, and that's all I know. I don't know any other God. I serve the living God. I'm not saying other gods, people that serve, that they are horrible people, or if that's what they know, that's what they know. And if it's working for them, it's working for them. For me, my Christ is working for me, and that's all I know. So they've been putting dream manipulation. That's what I've noticed recently, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And one thing I've also noticed is that when my little girl, she's on the TV, there seems to be, I've seen it before, it's not the first time, and also here read about where people have documented it, but it's also happened to me. It seems like a child's play on the TV, like Roblox or whatever they're playing or doing on the TV, but then you see a distinctive and adult voice, not the face. In the recent, about 2 weeks ago, about just over 2 weeks ago, all I could hear now, because sometimes I can't do anything when she's watching. I just sit down and just glance on what she's doing. I sat down here quietly looking at the game she was playing there. All I could hear, somebody distinctive voice, which was different from the program itself, said, "If I want to kill you, I can kill you." And this was not synonymous with what the child was watching. So it was a very distinctive voice. It was a white male voice. It was quite different, and it was quite clear. And I thought, okay, I hear what you say, but I will tell you now, you cannot kill me. No matter how you try, no matter what you do, because you're a human being just like me. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm not after to kill you. I've never killed before. I don't have it in me to kill anybody. I believe God gave you here for a purpose. You have moved away from the purpose God gave you to do what you're doing, and God made me here for a purpose. And I'm going nowhere until I establish or I complete what God has sent me. And if you want to try, you will meet with God, because your own breath, you haven't given yourself breath, and you haven't given me breath. It's God that gave you my breath, and the same God that gave you your own breath. So if you think you have the understand that this program, when you're on this program, is for life, fair enough. I also understand when you guys want to kill people, the perpetrator, I'm talking to you in number 28, I'm talking to you in number 24. It's well documented. Your secret it's no more secret now, it's coming out. We all understand, if you want to kill people, number one, you poison their food and make it look as if it's suicide. Number two, you radiate them with direct energy weapon radiation, so that they develop sickness, they develop cancer, then it seems as if they have all this illness, a long-term illness, and they die off. Or you actually understand through a lot of research that you actually kidnap people and you have your own assassination squad. And if that's not working, you all go to attack the heart to give them heart attack based on algorithm. But what I would tell you, you're forgetting that the people that you're killing, that you yourself, you're not indisposable. You're just body and flesh. So a lot of you that are in the occult, you think when you get to a certain point that that you're indispensable. You're not indispensable. And I'm telling you now, whoever that is telling you that is a liar, and Satan is a liar. If you think you're going to live here forevermore, it's a liar. You're a liar, he's a liar, and they've been lying. If you think you're going to put your brain into computer and that will live forevermore, no, he's a liar. When time comes, that heart will disintegrate, your brain will disintegrate, and you will also go the way everybody else will go. So if you're thinking you're going to threaten me, this is not the first time I've been threatened with death. I've been told by an entity called Prime Minister in 2019 when I sent a letter to, I'm trying to write to Prime Minister to look into this problem of this gang stalking. It's not only him, so all the actively encourage even all over the world now to get through to your MPs, to get through to your activists, to bring this thing to light. I'm sure any sane person will want to do that, to bring this thing to find out what's going on and how can we resolve this issue. Anybody will want to do that. If you're being attacked, you want to do that. You want to find out what you've done. Why are you on the list? Because I never knew this list existed. I never knew anything like this existed in this country. So the country is a good country. I'm not going to put it down. There's so many people out there doing their best to keep the country safe, to keep us safe, doing their honest best. And in equal measure, there are some people that are trying to drag this country down because of what they are doing. So now I have had death threats before in the past, where somebody, I believe he was sent to come, and I don't know what they were meant to do, how they were meant to do it. He drove into the car park. That as I was just coming out of the front door, I could see him drive there. Then since that day, I never knew it was him, but then he showed himself. I start having camera when he sees me with camera, he will turn back and start walking away. And that's why he gave himself up, because I didn't know. And another time I've had, 2009, somebody calling himself Prime Minister, because I wrote, he said, I'm going to be forced into suicide. And I actually went today to check into that documentation. It's been taken off. I wonder why you've taken it off. I think it was a pat on your elbow for you to write that sort of a thing and put it online, because you think you can do it, and then suddenly you have taken it off. That means, are you afraid of anything? Why are you taking it off? There's no need for you to take off, because I can quote everything you've said and I know who you are. I don't know who you are, but I know the name you've presented there. So you call yourself Prime Minister, and you said, I'm going to be driven to suicide. That's what you said. So then you've taken off your comments. So I'm sure you should be proud of yourself and leave the comments there. So if there's something that you're afraid of, I don't know. So I leave it with your own conscience. But what I know, you're a human being just like me. The breath that you breathe, God gave it to you, just like he gave my breath to you. I am not wishing to take your breath. I'm not wishing to take your life. But if you attempt in my life, God in heaven will not let you keep yours. And that's why I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're on the level 33, if you're on level 63, whatever level you are in, what you think will protect you. When God time comes, you realize that you will not be protected. You'll be exposed. So that is the second time I had it. And then this one that I hear wasn't written words. It wasn't written, but it was said when the child was watching, but it was inappropriate word because I checked on what she was playing to see where was that coming from. And it just gave a very distinctive voice. If I want to kill you, I'll kill you. But I know you people cause heart attack. You're forgetting that you also have heart. Without your heart beating, you won't be alive. That God himself can stop your own heart. I can't stop it. I don't wish to stop it. I don't wish to do you harm. But God himself can stop your own heart. And you haven't got authority over your own body. So I'm just letting you know that. That's it. So that is the threat I've had. That was about 2 weeks ago. So I will be doing more into that. I'll go more into that as time goes on. So those are the things I just wanted to bring. There's a lot of targeting. There's a lot of still having pulsation into my head, still having a microwave attack into my abdomen. I think they're trying to get me to have cancer. If God say I'm going to have cancer, so be it. But if God say I'm not going to have cancer, nothing you do that will make me have cancer. You will always find a way. You will always find a relief. You will always find a way for me to be helped. And he's my helper. He's my Lord and King. So you can try what you want to try. It's God. When God says yes, nobody can say no. And that's how I know. So the dream manipulation now, I'm having that. Like I said, it's new to me. It's just I think twice that I've seen something like that. Not very clear. That trying again. Maybe I was analyzing it too much. It could be that I just seems it was like a dream, but it was so vivid that I'm trying to say, are you trying to say I'm a Muslim? In my dreams, and that woke me up. So I'm thinking, what could that be? So it could be maybe because of what I've been seeing on my phone and that just manifested in the dream. It may not be anything. It could also be dream manipulation, that they're trying to get my brain to accept their narrative, which is not going to happen. I'm not a Muslim. I'll never be a Muslim. I'm not disrespecting Muslims. There are good Muslims out there, just like the good Christians, and they're also bad Christians, because this country was meant to be a Christian country. I came to this country because it was a Christian country, and I thought, it was what I know. So I never knew indeed there were people that were against Christians in this country. So then they're trying to use the Muslim religion as if I've got nothing against Muslim religion. I come originally from Nigeria. People live side by side, but we've never mixed. We've never got friends. We've never mixed. We do our own thing. I don't hate them. There's so many nice, good people there that just go about their business. The fact that they're Muslim does not make them horrible people. And they're also, Christians that are good Christians. And some of them, like we can see what is happening now, that some of them are not godly at all. That they're horrible people. Anybody that will condescend themselves to do this is a horrible human being. And I will say that from my heart. Because it takes a certain level of hatred. And for you to do a thing like this, it takes children are also being affected. The direct energy weapon is pulsating into my home. I have my grandchildren coming here, so their own health does not make a concern for you, apart from when you're getting your £15, £16 an hour. So, and some of you, what do you use the money for? Apart from buying second-hand bangers, you go there, you have your drink. It's easy money, but ill-gotten, the Bible says, will never prosper. And that's what I believe in. As long as my hands are clean and you're doing this, I will not swap my position with you. I will never in this life swap my place with you. So that's what I want to say to you. So I will ask you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ to change all those targeted individuals. They're also the security that's been attached to this house. So I will bring that in a different video. So I've got a security. So I'm very special. I've got a security guard. I've got men working, mostly men. There's also a woman. I think she's a senior officer that's involved in the management of what is happening. And also, there's a lot of it. I don't want to start counting, but you know yourself. You're all human beings just like me. So, I mean, if I calculate there about up to how many of you, just for one woman, 5'2" woman, there must be something special in me, and I thank God for that. And that's what you want, you'll never get. I ask you to change, because Christ is coming soon, and we'll all be judged by our actions. And everything that we do, we all have to give accountable for everything that we do. Better believe it. If you think that the Bible says, whoever thinks it's only a fool that says in his heart there is no God. So you better believe this God, because this world is not by chance. It's too perfect to be by chance. It takes creation, it takes thoughts for us to have this beautiful world. And you have come here not to do good, but to scatter, to bring pain, to bring suffering. Everybody now knows that you guys are terrorists. A terrorist is somebody that creates fear and maintains fear. And that's all you are. Everybody now is believing that you're a terrorist. You're not better than ISA. You're not better than those ones fighting in the Middle East. You're not even better than Boko Haram in Nigeria, cutting people's head off, because exactly you're doing the same thing. You're killing people in a different way. Killing is killing. Tormenting is tormenting. That's what they do, and that's what you are. And nobody can take that. Your hand is dipped in blood. And I'm sure for you to be able to hit somebody to that level of wanting to kill them, that means you've done it before, and because you get away with it, but you're forgetting that there is God. You have to answer to God at some point. And that's my word to you. Don't do it. Don't try it. And that's what I'll say to you. I can't stop you, but I'm telling you, don't do it. Because God fights for his own. And that's what I will tell you guys. I hope I'm not too being bullish, but that's how I just feel like saying today. Thank you very much for listening to me. May the Lord bless you abundantly in Jesus' name. And for the perpetrators, it's not too late to change. It's not too late to change. Jesus Christ died for us. So it's for you to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. There's no other way. And that's what I'll leave to you. Thank you for listening to me. May the Lord bless you in Jesus' holy name.